Hello, this is Amanda for Fairy Stamper, and today I'm going to show you how you can use the Fairy-Scapes backgrounds. They're pre-printed 6x6 backgrounds to make a quick and easy card. Now, I have shown these in the past, and I will link some in the iCards. But I know that not everybody is into making their own mixed media type backgrounds or making any backgrounds at all, so I thought I would show you another card using these backgrounds. So I am starting off with Moana here. I think that she is a very cute fairy. And I'm just going to use the toadstool as a placement because I will be placing her on top of the toadstool. So just using that as a guide on where I'm going to stamp her. So I am using VersaFine Nocturne ink. And I'm just using my Maker Forte Perfect Impression Smusher here to get a good impression. This is the first time that I'm using this stamp, and she stamped really well. So then I brought out the toadstool again, and I'm just going to stamp her on top of the toadstool. And I suppose I could have used the toadstool and then stamped Moana, but I don't know. For some reason, I always think that I need to stamp from front to back, like as if I'm masking, but these silhouette stamps, you don't really need to mask them. So then I thought that I would bring out Anaya's tree and stamp that to the left-hand side of my panel, slightly hanging off, just to kind of fill out that side of that panel. And you could definitely use this whole 6x6 panel on a 6x6 card. I just prefer A2 cards, so that's why I cut it down. So then I'm bringing in the fantasy flowers to fill in around Moana here. And I've got 3 out of the 4 flowers, and then I'm going to bring in the 4th one. I just couldn't stamp them all at once. I didn't have enough room. So I'm just going to bring in that 4th flower here now and fill that in that little blank spot behind her. I wanted a very full card for this. So off screen, I did color in Anaya's tree and use some, I did that with Arteza real brush markers, very simple coloring. And then I did use some Stardust glitter pens. I will have those linked in the description box below to color in the mushroom and the flowers and her wings. And now I'm just using aged mahogany to go around the edges and darken them up a little bit. And then I will switch to some black soot and darken them up even further. And it's just going to give it a kind of like a vignette around the edges. So I'm just going to go in there, and then I kind of went a little heavy, so I'm just bringing out a bigger blender brush just to kind of smooth that out a little bit. And I'll probably do that for all 4 corners because I did want it to be dark, but I didn't want it to be really, really dark. So I find it a little bit easier to blend out with the bigger brush. But I was using the smaller brush, so in hopes not to apply too much ink, but I kind of went a little overboard there. So just going to finish up this last corner in the top, and then we will start assembling our card. So you can see how we've got a nice little vignette feel going around the edges, and it just changes the whole tone of the card. So I do like to mount my card panels on some black cardstock that is 1/8 inch bigger than my card panel, but it gives a 1/16 inch border all the way around. So I've got the measurements there on the screen for you. And then I will take that to my white card base. I just feel that the black cardstock just kind of makes everything pop just a little bit. Plus it kind of makes my edges look a little bit darker and gives that vignette feel a little bit more darkness. All right, so my finished card size is an A2, like I mentioned earlier. I do make that out of the Nina Classic Crest 110-pound cardstock. And this is a side folding card. So I'm just going to mount that on there, and then we are going to move to the inside and do a little bit on the inside there. So I did take that long skinny strip that I cut off the Fairy-Scapes background, and I'm just going to glue that to the inside there because I really wouldn't use it for anything else. And of course I drop it twice, and how I got so lucky that I dropped it twice and the glue landed side up, I have no idea. I don't think I could do that again. But anyway, so I'm just going to glue that to the side there. I really wouldn't use that piece for anything else. It would probably be tossed if I didn't glue it to the inside, and it just gives it a little pop of color. So I'm going to use the About You sentiment and stamp that with VersaFine Clair. Just give it a little smush with my smusher tool. And that turned out really nice. So that finishes up for the card for today. In my description box will be the supply list with links to everything that's included in the Fairy Stamper store. There's also a link to the Facebook group, the Fairy Stamper Hugs Facebook group, where we all share our projects, and it's just really fun. There's challenges and all kinds of stuff over there, so I encourage you to check it out. If you haven't subscribed to my channel or the Fairy Stamper Hugs channel, there will be links in the description box for that as well. And as always, have a great day.